guess it will come to me. Hello, how are you? It's Susie with Susie's Spirit Ramblings. I'm a bit nervous today, not necessarily because I'm talking to you, but because I'm starting with a new camera app on my MacBook. I did 2 videos yesterday. I recorded it twice, and each time, after 36 minutes or so, the video disappeared. It was gone. So after the second time I said, okay, this is not working. Let me try again tomorrow. And here I am. And I'm actually glad I did, because yesterday's video was a little bit, the what I wrote about on the 28th and 29th, which is what I will read you in a bit, with Writing with Spirit, was a little bit off, a little bit down. And you notice energies are picking up. Things are getting better and better and better. Just like Abraham says, things are getting better and better and better. So those of you who don't know me, I'm Susie. If this is the first time watching, hi, welcome. What I do is I pull a few tarot cards, I pull a few oracle cards. We talk about a lot about politics and what's going on in the world. We talk about current events, is how we like to say it, right? Current events going on in the world, and what we as light workers need to keep in mind to get through this very difficult phase that we're all going through. Now, the reason things are looking up is 100 days are over, and these guys are tearing each other apart, which we all knew they would. But it's just, like when you're in a movie, you have to go through the nasty things, even though you know it's going to turn out okay. In the end, it's going to be okay. But you have to go through it, and it's, and when you're in it, you don't know if it's going to be okay or not, even though, honestly, this too shall pass, is what we always learn. This too shall pass. It will. So they're tearing each other apart. Elon is out of the White House. Will he be let back in? Does he have a back door to take care of things? We don't know. Will he still be CEO of his own companies? No idea. How's he doing? How is he doing? Looks like he's on the range, or on the brink of a nervous breakdown, potentially. We don't know. We've got our own problems to worry about, right? So, but he's out for now. What's the Waltz guy? He's not our Tim Waltz. The other Waltz guy who worked with excerpts. He's out, supposedly. So we're going to talk about all of that. I wrote about that on the 28th and 29th, but the most important news, of course, this week was Mamala Kamala on day 100 showed up and gave a wonderful speech. And is she angry, and is she fired up? So we can expect some good things to come about soon. But another thing I want to talk about is the fact that we are all, as we know, creating our own reality. We need to hang on to positive thoughts, the light. It's not some airy-fairy thing. Page of Swords comes right out here. It's not some airy-fairy thing. It's just, it's how we create our reality. We see a problem. I just listened to one great podcast, and I really have to tell you about it. We see the problem and realize that the solution lies in the problem. Without the problem, you can't come about with your perfect solution, now can you? You need to have to go through it. So I was listening, and I've been following Abraham Hicks, as you may know, for several years. Since the late 90s, probably. And I just came across a podcast by a guy named David Bayer. I'm not sure if he says it Bayer, B-A-Y-E-R. And he did a podcast about 2 weeks ago, which I thought was fabulous. The more you let go, the more you receive. And he went into the Abraham Hicks philosophies and teachings in a way that I had somehow missed. So the problem persists, obviously. We know what we resist persists. We've heard that, and we hear it all the time. But when you're in a situation that you do not like, you need to remember that this too shall pass. The problem is the first step to the solution. It's showing you it's showing you that, you know, that there is something amiss in your world. There is something that you can let go of and let universal forces take care of. You know, you just have to understand that, oh, I have to ride this wave for a little bit, but I know something is being done, and if I need to take inspired action, I will be inspired to do so. If I need to take action, that is, then I'll be inspired to do so. I also heard podcasts this week. I've been listening to a lot about, you know, the collective bringing about the solution that we desire, because we are all being forced to look together in the same direction of what we do want. And by doing that, I mean, that wave is growing. By doing that, we are bringing in the tendencies and the results that we're looking for. So, am I rambling too much? I am going to start, and I'm hoping that this video will actually get done because I'm excited about it. I'm going to start, again, as usual, by pulling 1 or 2 tarot cards to see where we are, and a few oracle cards, and see what Abraham has to say with their cards, just to get a feel, taking a deep breath, get a feel for where we stand as a collective and what we need to know right now. Today is May 2nd. I did it yesterday. I did the video yesterday, and I said to you guys, Happy May Day. You know, it was May Day. Unfortunately, I didn't finish it. Both files were corrupted, showing 36 minutes each, but corrupted. So, don't know what happened there. It's fine. I've got a new app, playing with it and see what happens with that. So let's see. Deep breath. Letting go of all of that frustration. Let it go, and see what we can come up with, right? My kitchen smells wonderful. I just took out a cake. You might see it in the background. I made an apple cake, a German apple cake, that I will share with my neighbors. Yeah, before they leave, they're going to be away for a few months. So here we go. What is the card? Show me. Give me a card. Give me a card. I am pulling from, see, I talked about it so much yesterday, I forgot to tell you. Pulled me 3 cards. Very good. The Light Seers deck. And I'm not used to this camera. It's showing actually the right way around. So it's, for me, it's a little bit the wrong way around, but for you, it's the right way around. The Light Seers deck. Beautiful cards. 10 of Cups. We are going to be happy, happy, happy. We have to stay happy, happy, happy to get to where we want to be. Like I said, I'm not sure which direction do I have to go. Oh, this way. Take a look. 10 of Cups. Knight of Cups. Expect expressions of love this weekend or today. Be happy, and you will receive happiness. And 8 of Pentacles. So you see, these cards are all positive. 8 of Pentacles has to do with money. Money is coming in. If you're having difficulties with money, expect it. It's coming. It's coming. All right. Just let it go and know that the solution is on its way in, because you said it should be. So it should be. I grew up in northeast, in the northeast New England area, where, you know, we still have those Calvinistic beliefs. You have to work hard to make money. You have to work hard. And it's tough to get rid of that and to understand that, yes, you do have to work. You work, obviously, but you also have to not just give, you have to be able to receive. Divine feminines out there, we're learning to receive. Learn to receive. The universe is going to be giving you something, and don't, like I do all the time, do not beat up on yourself if you're not where you want to be right now, because that is the resistance that is holding you back. So now, if I could actually follow my own advice, that would be nice. I'm trying. So, Wisdom of the Oracles, what do we have to say about that now? Another card. Wisdom of the Oracles. You see, we should be joyous. Mamala is back. They are tearing each other apart like we predicted they would. And things are going to start looking up. I'm pretty sure, and don't bash me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that a lot of this is going to be over with, and we can start anew sometime by the end of this month, going into next month. So, all right, this card wanted to jump out. Round and round in circles. That's what we're doing in our minds, right? Round and round in circles, telling ourselves about, where can I show this? There we go. The problems that we're facing. Oh, we keep going around in our minds. We have to step away from the news every now and then, and we have to step away from the problems that we're perceiving, because just round and round talking about problems and what's going wrong in your world is just going to keep that problem alive. So take a deep breath when you realize, oh, I can't do this anymore. Then that's time to go outside and hug a tree. Go to the beach. Play with your dog. Play with your cat. Ride your bike. Do something to get your mind off things and just remember how wonderful life is. How wonderful life is. Yeah, Elton John in my head. How wonderful life is. Okay, I'll stop singing. You'll hate me afterwards. We're not at karaoke tonight, Susie. Well-being cards from Abraham Hicks. Just one card. What does Abe have to say? Always very upbeat. I'm going to be trying when I read later to be a little bit not as quite as down. But I was very much down. And I'm just hoping that when I read what's going through my mind, it'll remind you potentially of what's going on in your mind. And it might be helpful to you. Happy. Same vein, it says, my happiness is my greatest gift to others. Isn't that cute? Selfishly seek joy, because your joy is the greatest gift you can give to anyone. Remember, smiling at the stranger? Unless you are in joy, you have nothing to give anyway. So, there we go. Just got another notification about some executive order. Stop looking at it. It's all, you know. The fool is in there thinking he's king. He's not. And our institutions are standing up against it. Inside their party, they're standing up against it. So things are working out for us. Without him, we would not know what needs to be fixed. He's, I think I'm reading that later, he's draining the swamp and showing us what needs to be fixed. So let me read to you what I wrote on April 28th and 29th. And then I'll have to, well, what Spirit wrote. Like I said, if you haven't been here before, what I do is, since January 19th, I decided to sit down and start writing because I always wanted to write. And it soothes me. Writing soothes me, and I feel like I'm writing with spirit. And what I do is I write my own thoughts, and then after a while I ask my spirit guides, whoever's there, my Über-Ich, whatever, my own spirit to take control, or other guides who are there, who's ever there, the universe, and to take my fingers and write for me and type for me in my laptop. And sometimes what I read when I'm writing and I'm thinking this doesn't make any sense, but when I read it later and read it out loud to you guys, it makes a lot of sense, I think. And you might not think so. Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. These are my thoughts. This is my opinion, and not necessarily gospel, okay? And also remember, if you like this, please do like and subscribe. I need more subscribers. And comment. I would love to, have a conversation with you about all of this. The YouTube algorithms require more likes and subscribes in order to push my videos. So I started doing some 60-second shorts, or even a 30-second short, and they seem to be doing very well. The longer videos, maybe not so. So if you think I should be shorter and stop rambling, but the purpose of this is to be rambling, okay? So allow me to ramble, please. Okay, April 28th, 2025. Let me count the ways. Wow, so much to discuss. The Orange Man did go to the Pope's funeral, and what a disaster he made of it. So disrespectful. Wearing a blue suit when black was required. Trying to hold political meetings within the middle of a memorial service for a revered popular pope. I'm really ashamed of what this nation is portraying around the world right now. What else is there to talk about? Hegseth, in charge of not only the U.S. military, but by extension, some of international forces as well. He uses unsecure lines and puts lives of servicemen and women around the world at risk. Why? We're asking ourselves why. I hope one day we will find it out and find out what their motivation is. Articles of impeachment were filed today. Woohoo! Making the 100 days into the administration, which we now see as a regime. And he's so unpopular. His policies are unpopular. His dementia is clearly on display. So much so that we think he needs to be ousted. What else? Within weeks, the shelves of popular retail stores like Walmart and Target will be empty. No shipments are currently coming in from China. Linda G and others are talking about potential food shortages. What an F up. I'm not going to say it out loud. Ukraine, Russia. Russia suggesting a ceasefire, yet no one believes them. I'm wondering what's going to happen with the P-Man. I still feel strongly he's on his way out, if he's not already out already, just as the Orange Man is on his way out. Zelensky is a respected leader around the world, and he got more positive attention from world leaders at the funeral than anyone else. The old man, the Orange Man, was not happy. I admire him. I'm worried about the people of Ukraine. How terrible to suffer through this war for so much time. How many people have died, nay, have been slaughtered needlessly. I try not to think about it that often because it's just so depressing. Yet at the same time, the will of that people is so strong, it's downright heroic. There will be legends, movies, books, novels written about this one day, and we will all be in awe at the strength of these people. Personally, I'm doing my best to stay upbeat and hopeful. I have no idea how things will continue. Spirit guides, angels, God, guide me through this situation, please. I'm losing faith and hope. but life has been a struggle. Can we please add tools to our toolbox? I just found one, so that we can learn how to play the game of life more successfully and with less struggle. So I'm preaching these tools, and I'm having a hard time using them myself. But as I sit here, this world, my world, it's all so chaotic. I thought I had felt a shift last week, yet now I'm not quite so sure. There was a shift. Others are seeing it too. I feel like I'm falling incredibly behind again, and I really do not know where to turn to. I see piles of unopened envelopes on my desk, stuff that needs to be done, being put on hold. There's so much I want to do and to take care of. It feels like my life is spinning out of control. I reach out to you now, my spirit guides, to ask for some input. What do you have to say about all of this? I breathe in. I exhale. I trust that you are here. And they respond, my dearest, do not despair. The shift you felt was very real. Now, just learn to trust. You might want to just spend one day this week working through your clutter. It will release the stuck energies. Keep your castle clean. And I did. Took care of all of those envelopes. Current events. You know things will be over by the end of May, early June. He may be impeached. This is not exactly how you envisioned it. It will be due to his incompetence. You, though, want to see evidence of his shenanigans during the election in November. They are working on that behind the scenes. The military will step in and take Pete Hegseth out. They have backdoor plans in place that can override unconstitutional orders and schemes. You've heard Rosie's Insights, talk about this, and it's true. The Orange Man may attempt to send troops to support the our country against the you country. It will be the ultimate downfall if he does, and he's probably well aware of it. But he may have no choice. The mob is strong in both the current U.S. regime as well in the Russian one. Food shortages, yes, you will need to stock up on cans, rice, and beans. Don't worry about the money, though, it's coming. You will be fine. We know it's easier said than done and believed. Keep practicing your manifestation exercises and believe. Believe. Believe you can fly, and you can. So this comes from, I heard an astrologer. I was listening to my astrology website, and it said something about believe you can fly, and I thought at that moment, and I commented, I used to dream that I could fly, and it was such a wonderful feeling. I would be up there flying and seeing everything, and I knew the trick of it, of flying, was to believe that I actually could. And I actually taught it to several people, and they followed me flying around. We flew around as a group. But as soon as you stopped believing that you could, you just plopped on the ground, and it was not very pleasant. But anyway, so I love that feeling, and it's a really good vision of what we need to do in this life. So remember, believe you can fly. And I wish I could do it while I'm awake, because it was so fun. Believe you can fly, and you can. Remember how strong that belief was in your dream. There was absolutely no doubt in your head or in your mind after you had mastered that skill. Then I wrote, guides, there's not much here that I can read to others. What do you have to say to the collective? So here we go. You are coming to the end of the initial phase of some great changes. The challenges are great. The goal is for everyone to wake up and approach a new dimension of understanding. As you know, only a small percentage of your brain is being used. Your societies have put you through the ringer and reduced the amount of education your children and youngsters receive. This has been making people less resilient to those that want power for themselves. They have shied away from education, culture, philosophy, and instead allowed others to take control of their lives. They have launched a war on woke, and the word itself is a strong indication of just how downgraded your intelligence as a collective has become. So, especially in the United States, less so in Europe, where education and training, seeking out continuing education, a higher level of understanding, multiple degrees, etc., is highly rated. Those things have been frowned upon here in favor of one single leader and one group of the leader's entourage to be in charge of the nation. The less educated the people is, the better for that one particular group of leaders. However, you are entering a quasi-rebirth phase during which the latest generation, the incoming generation, coming of age, will insist on keeping their minds active and educated. And have you noticed the children these days and the youngsters these days? They are so smart. They want education. Spirit guides, though I'm falling asleep, I need some sleep. As muddled as everything is in my life, I feel these ponderings today are just as muddled. So I thought it was just all... So I'll stop for now. And they said, we love you. Get some much needed rest. And then I wrote again on April 30th. Tanzen in Mai. Let's dance into May Day is what I was saying, which is what we do in Germany. April 30th is celebrations, partying, and let's go dance into the May. Tomorrow is May Day. It's a holiday in most of Europe. Most Americans are clueless, as always, even though it was celebrated in this country until the McCarthy era. Oh well, one other thing they wiped out here in the name of capitalism. Now they're trying to wipe out democracy. Things seem bleak right now. I'm on the edge. Yesterday I was really down and wondered, what's the use? Susan Lynn, I listened to her. She just talked about taking the first step and allowing spirit to pick up from there. Fine, though. What's the first step? What do I do? Rosie and Corinna had the conversation about the 3 days of darkness. Have you heard about that? The 3 days of darkness. The electric grid blackout in Spain, they're saying, was a practice session for what will go down here in this nation. And the current regime will try to get our U.S. forces to assist the R country in defeating the U country, upon which the traitors will be arrested by the military. And this will all be done in the cloak of darkness, is what Rosie and Corinna are saying. Now, I looked into what happened in Spain and Portugal. How could that have happened? There are people out there saying, oh, it was just a natural disaster. Yeah, sure, okay. And others were saying, oh, there was a spike in the solar panels which caused, yeah, a whole nation, sure, of course. 2 nations. It started in the south of France, and then they found cut cables. Now, do you remember cut cables? Back last year when off the coast of Ireland, the Russian U-boats were there cutting off the cables to communication to this part of the world? Yeah, cut cables. No, there's not necessarily a cyber attack. That isn't a cyber attack. That's true. It's cutting cables. It's actually a mechanical practice. So anyway, the idea is potentially Spain, Portugal, and the south of France, what they was over there, was potentially a practice session for what's to come here. Rosie's explanations seem credible to me. These may all just be tales that we're telling ourselves. I myself have been hoping that NATO will uncover the shenanigans that went on last November, most likely committed again in Canada on Monday. Can someone please put a stop to this? How much evidence do we really need? We all know it's happening. What should we expect? I'm really doing my best to stay calm, but in the face of all of this chaos and in the face of potential ruin, I just do not know which first step is the right one. I feel like I'm going around in circles. Didn't we just have that card, going around in circles? So my guides, angels, and spirit masters are waiting for me to do something, and I feel panic within me because I feel like I need to do something. I do need to do something. I need to breathe and know that everything's fine. And wait for the inspired action. So once again, please tell me something good, something I can relay to my followers. Ms. Susie, they said, you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Continue to send out your energy into the world. Think of loved ones, think of friends, reach out. Love will find you. It's creeping through the cracks. A billow of pink, warm fog covering everything in its path with a feeling of enjoyment, a belonging and happiness. We are sending it through your nation as you struggle to come to terms with where you are, both personally and collectively. Patience, as you know, needs to be infinite, and results will show up. You've been patient, and any outbursts of frustrations are clearly forgivable. Still, frustration holds you back. We'll answer your questions. We can confirm there are treasonous planning sessions taking place. The long arm of the P-Man has extended inside the halls of the White House. In fact, there have been plans in place since 2017, when the Orange Man first took office and met with delegates from the Our Country in the Oval Office. A lot of weight is being placed on finding conclusive evidence. And in the meantime, the Our Country is just thumbing its nose at the rest of the world. We ask you, why do you need so much evidence? You do know what the truth is. But we understand you need ironclad results. Rutte and co. are working diligently on that. You don't see all of the things going on that we see. Your vision is not X-ray quality. Let us just take over the keyboard for a second. You'll understand later what we are saying. The P-Man is no more. We've established that. The K administration, the Our Country, is in charge, and they want to strike before the news of the P-Man's demise has reached general consciousness. It will be a messy process, filled with gaps and mistakes. For entertainment purposes only. Your role in all of this is to be still and to know that we understand what needs to happen. And as we say that, we feel your deep resistance because we think we have to do something. We are not saying you sit around and do nothing. We say, allow us to give you the inspiration on which first step to take. Then, follow that without question. So yes, plans are being drawn up on both sides. The Orange Man's cognitive decline, who is an asset to the Our Country, is making these plans skid out of control. It's a race against the clock. Obama comes to mind, working together with the Cheneys, Dick and Liz. A truly bipartisan deal, the likes of which your nation has been longing for decades. In fact, all of this is partially in response to your prayers and hopes to make your government more flexible and to come together to find agreements. People are understanding that and are awakening to a much stronger power. Bashing a person on a personal level due to their political preferences will eventually die down to a whimper. Spirit guides, I say, tell me about the 3 days of darkness. Is that real? Unfortunately, yes, it's very real. They now have a team of experts in place, the Our Country. You ask how it is that so many could be on board with this, and the answer is not a simple one. It's in part scare tactics, tactics, in part the promise of riches and power, in part brainwashing, in part the use of technologies that affect brainwaves. So, what will happen, you ask? We cannot give you all of the information, but be prepared. Fill your gas tanks. Yeah, my gas cans. I have a generator. When we have hurricanes here, I need to use my generator, so that's what I have. I've got gas cans. Fill your gas cans. Fill your pantry. Don't be afraid. You will be able to. It will start with cell phone towers that will gradually stop sending signals or communicating with your devices. At the same time, your power will shut down. Read up on exactly what happened in Spain and Portugal. Yes, that was where the practice session was held. It will help it happen elsewhere before it happens in your nation. Another practice session. However, your military has plans. And now they're going into numbers, so we have to recognize what these numbers mean. Your military has plans which 46 put into place before he left office, organized with the aid of 44 and 43. The Orange Man, if he makes it that far, because of his health, which is still questionable, will be detained and locked away, as will any of his minions that are still around him. Others will flee. And I say, that sounds like fiction to me. What can I tell others? I'm not sure I can read this on YouTube. You can and you should, they say. The more people who are aware of this, the better. And this may be why my video did not download. See if this one does. Go ahead and read up on Spain and Portugal and add that to your next video, and we did that. So, will everything else be on hold then? The choosing of the next pope? Peace talks? No, this affects your nation for now. In the meantime, there are still hungry and homeless children in Gaza. The Vatican is putting itself back together again so that they can play an effective role in the world. Germany will still be putting together its cabinet so that it can make sense in a changed world. And our country is looking towards annexing the United States before it chooses its new leader and announces the demise of the P-Man. So, thinking about this, Zelensky, like you, is going through a very dark night of the soul. He too is unsure which direction to take. And like you, he needs a break. So I was upset. I said, Spirit guides, comparing my position with Zelensky's is almost blasphemous. I don't have the weight of a nation on my shoulders. The deaths of a populace weighing me down. A national pride that needs to be upheld, pushing my limits. No, they responded, but suffering is suffering, you know that. One person's suffering is not to be judged based on another person's troubles. Can you sleep? No. Do you worry? Yes. The darkness is the same. Hope and despair playing that dance in your mind round and round. Didn't we just have that card? Round and round, driving you crazy. 1 minute there's something you can look forward to with hopelessness, and another minute, one glance, one wrongly spoken word, one small episode can catapult you down into the depths of despair. The result is the same. The question you ask is, why even bother? And here we have in this nation the Orange Man shutting down the suicide helpline. Very tragic. Yes, things are dark right now. So reach out to your spirit guides. Spirit guides, who's with me today? Make me feel loved. Pull me up. Hold me tight. Give me the love I need to move on. Give me something hopeful to think about. And they responded. They responded. Giving me goosebumps. Did you feel that? They asked. The goosebumps on your left side, that was us. We blew some loving words into your ear, and you will hear them later. Okay, I heard a lot. Opportunities abound, and you will soon see them coming through. Be grateful to your friends and family. Don't close yourself off. Be the love you seek to receive. It's all going to be okay. So I say, thank you, my guides. And I say, my guides, my laptop needs power. And they said, so do you, Susie. Get some rest. We love you. I thought that was incredible. Anyway, I wanted to bring that to you, even if it is a little bit düster, a little bit bleak, a little bit dark. I feel a loving message of hope while we are facing some really dark times. I have one more card I want to pull from the Angel Oracles cards before we say adios for today. The one that just came out. I couldn't even do anything. It says the world. Archangel Michael, a job well done, joy, contentment, and gratitude. The path toward enlightenment. See, this is the same. Can you see it? On the same vein of what the other cards were that we pulled. But since I didn't even get to shuffle, I did shuffle them before we came online. I'm going to shuffle one more time and see if they have anything else to say. You know? Really cool. These cards, it blows my mind every single time. So, anything? I think we might just have to stop with there. This one looks like it's coming out. And that was the one that came out yesterday when I did the video too. The Chariot. We are moving forward. The Chariot. Isn't that a beautiful card? We are moving forward. We are getting to where we want to be. And it's going to be fast. We're fast moving forward. This time will be ending soon, people. Believe me. Or don't believe me. I believe it. And I'm just going to spread it out there. If you believe me or not, we shall see, obviously. But the idea is to remember we have problems because they need to be solved. And the solution can be found in the problem. So don't shy away from them. See them as something that we need to be grateful for. Be happy. Enjoy your life. Like I said, go enjoy yourself. Go for a walk. Take your dog for a walk. I took Coco for a walk yesterday morning. She insisted. And I haven't done that in a long time because I've got a big yard. And it was good. It's relaxing. It takes your mind off whatever troubles you have. So with that in mind, be happy this weekend. Go enjoy yourselves. And I will be back as soon as I've written something else. And hopefully this recording will actually save on my computer and I can upload it. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. Bye.